Denis Villeneuve is calling out Star Wars for going off the rails, and he says it happened way earlier than you'd think. Denis Villeneuve has made some of the best science fiction films of the past 20 years, including Arrival and both Dune movies. So with that in mind, the Town podcast recently asked him if he'd ever direct a Star Wars movie. At first, he said he has strong attachments to the Star Wars franchise. Quote, "I was the target audience. I was 10 years old. It went to my brain like a silver bullet. I became obsessed with Star Wars. I saw The Empire Strikes Back a billion times on screen." But then Villeneuve says it all went to shit. Quote, "The problem is that it all derailed in 1983 with Return of the Jedi. My best friend and I wanted to take a cab and go to LA and talk to George Lucas. We were so angry. Still today, the Ewoks. It turned out to be a comedy for kids." He then goes on to explain that the franchise has become a victim of its own formula. Quote, "Star Wars became crystallized in its own mythology, very dogmatic. It seemed like a recipe, no more surprises. So I'm not dreaming to do a Star Wars because it feels like code. It's very codified." And he's absolutely right that Star Wars rarely surprises us anymore. And in my opinion, that's a problem. But every time a writer or a director tries to do something surprising with Star Wars, the most vocal fans seem to freak out. So I don't blame Denis Villeneuve for not having any interest.